We're trying to get to this thing here. Boom. All right, what's going on, beautiful people? I'm Tyler.
That big smile.
I'm Tyler. With me is Doug. We're on the North Shore 9 Postgame show, powered by Primanti Brothers. We had a little bit of an issue there where the whole intro would not load there, but it was pretty similar to the Pirates offense. At any rate, we're back with you again. Pirates lose this one 9-0 to the Angels. Doug, that one was ugly, my friend.
Yeah. Kyle Nicholas looked good, pitching a scoreless top of the ninth. Subscribe, like, join, and see you tomorrow, because that's all. There's nothing else. There's nothing else to discuss.
Yeah, we're going to try, my friend. We're going to give it our best.
Ugly. It has started out so promising. Quinn Priester looks so good for 3 innings.
But yeah, it's a North Shore 9 postgame show powered by Primanti Brothers. Here we are again. And good Lord, we had a little bit of an issue with this whole thing here. There we go. There's Primanti Brothers rolling in there. Got to make sure they get their love here. We are here. Pirates lose this one 9-0. I'm just having a little bit of issues with the graphics here, but we're back with you. Doug, Quinn Priester started this one here. I don't know about you. Look, I'm a hopeless romantic. I like Quinn Priester. I've been all about him for a few years. Just, some guys I'm not going to buy into. Like, you guys know me by now. We've been watching this for a while. We know that if Tyler doesn't like someone, I'm digging my heels in and I'm going to stick with what I know. I don't like you. The guys I like, I ride with them. I'm looking at ways that, okay, maybe if this works out, maybe there's something there. Like with Quinn Priester, I was there with, okay, maybe we can get some soft contact with him maybe and turn into that type of guy. Well, it's been a handful of starts at this point over 2 years. It's just not been competitive baseball by Quinn Priester.
I mean, last year was a disaster for him, but I mean, I'm with you, right? I used to subscribe to Baseball America, and when he went to the alternate site and apparently lit it up in front of one person and one person only, but that launched him into the top 100. And, he never sort of lived up to that, but I always hope maybe could he, look, he's so young. There's so much development ahead of him. And then, he was dreadful last year. He could not, he came in and did like so many Pirate prospects do, has that brilliant first outing for a while. There were about 4 or 5 innings, and then he just fell apart. And that was the pattern for nearly every start he made last year. But this year, he was coming off back-to-back quality starts. It seemed like he had taken a bit of a step forward. I wasn't ready to, buy the jersey yet or anything, but I was like, okay, there's something there. And tonight, for 3 innings, it looked exactly like that. And he had just a terrible 4th inning. The Pittsburgh Pirates as a whole could not get Kevin Pillar out. He came in batting 179, and he had 2 home runs and 6 RBI today. So why can't we get players like that?
No, we have plenty of players hitting 179.
We have a bunch of them. Yeah, we have a bunch of them. Yeah, exactly. They just don't have that breakout game. And then, I mean, it just didn't make any sense. He could not throw a strike. He just looked terrible. Grandal went out and talked to him. Marine came out and talked to him. Then he makes an error. And so, he ends up giving up 3 runs. They bring him back out. And you can question that. I kind of supported that. I wanted to see if he could bounce back, gets the first guy out, and then, right back to everybody's hitting the ball hard again. So it was a disappointing outing. Not ready to cut him or anything yet, but I would package him in a trade with Jack Sawinski to the White Sox. Give him 2 Chicago guys. Maybe that has some appeal to him. Let's work on getting a hitter, but a
You
topic
know
for
what?
a different.
You, Doug, you brought up a decent point there that just kind of want to discuss. Bringing him out
Shot
there.
clock is right even once in a while, or twice a day.
But
So it's possible.
But bringing him back out there, I like it as well because with Quinn Priester, at some we know he can. I think we know that he can get through a few innings here, and it might not be the prettiest baseball, but at some point, if he's going to be a major league starting pitcher, you have to be able to get it through a lineup multiple times.
Right.
And we're in that weird phase of it being a developmental year, but also this is a year you expect to compete. So I do like giving him the opportunity to come out there and throw another inning. It didn't work out, but you get to find out a little bit more about your guy in that situation.
Yeah, exactly. I don't see it in the cards for us being a serious contender this year. So, and that's been one of the fascinating things during this regime. We don't ever get answers. We haven't answered first base. We haven't answered second base. We don't have answers on Quinn Priester. We don't have let's throw them out there. Look, there's people down there waiting to take a spot or somebody's. But so while he's here, while he's pitching, let's see what he has. Let's see, what kind of, toughness and resilience he has, and can he learn from his mistakes? But again, with him, it was so weird. He just lost command. Just lost,
And the thing is, for the most part, I like what I'm seeing from Priester. Like today, he got 8 ground outs, 3 fly balls. I've been a big proponent of going heavy on the 2-seam down with Quinn Priester and maybe stepping away from what we've seen at the minor league level where it's a heavy strikeout guy, because I don't see the strikeout stuff as a major leaguer. I think the breaking stuff is good. I mean, not just me. I don't know if anybody sees the fastball playing enough to be able to get major league hitters to swing and miss at it.
Right.
So I've been I've been a big proponent of Quinn Priester becoming more of a pitch to contact type of guy that we saw. I guess we have to go back to it, that little phase of good Pirates baseball that we've had in our lifetime. Maybe you've had a few in your life, Doug. I know, but
I have. I had a long stretch.
You did, but
it feels like maybe I just did a lot of drugs and I'm imagining things. But yeah.
But I have been a proponent of Quinn Priester becoming one of those guys that maybe he's a pitch to contact type of dude that throws a sinker ball. Literally just turn into Charlie Morton. I'm sorry. But that's all I'm asking from Quinn Priester at this point, because I think that is his part as a major league pitcher. And to an extent, I think we saw some of it tonight, but at the same time, you have to be able to get through an order multiple times.
At least twice, right? We're not even asking what we were asking for 10, 15 years ago. We're asking you to get through 2 times. We're basically asking you to pitch 5 innings.
And I mean, he was an out away from 5 innings. So if he goes 5 today, gives up 3, maybe we're not as down on him right now as we are right now.
Well, and if you tally up, let's see, how many runs did the Pirates score? Carry the 7. Oh, yeah, they scored 0 runs. So, I mean, again, it comes back to the core problem. I mean, we can't hit. We can't hit. We can't hit. That's a problem. That's a problem in baseball because, I think Jim has said it. You want people to hit the ball hard and just catch the ball, just some basic stuff. I think it was the advice Crash Davis gave to Nuke Lelouch. You throw the ball, you catch the ball, you hit the ball. It's not that complicated, but apparently for us it is. And I listened to Starbucks at Monday morning, and they were talking about offensive players in our minor leaguers, and they were in Loay, I think. So it was Sammy Siani and some kid I never heard of. So it's not like the hitting equivalent of Paul Skeens is not on the doorstep. So these guys need to either figure it out. They need to start meeting in alleyways with John Nunnally, or something has to happen, because this is all too familiar to last May, and it's just, again, we're talking about pitchers like, oh, he gave up 3 runs and that's not so bad. What does it matter? If he gave up a run only, he's a loser.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, you know what, Doug, you're hitting the nail on the head here. I don't know why I'm talking about Quinn Priester right now. I know he's someone everybody's interested in. He's a first round pick, former top prospect. It doesn't matter, man. Like, they scored 0 runs. We're talking about a team that had 3 hits today off some fella named Patrick Sandoval, who is
okay. I didn't remember.
Terrible. I saw his name.
I go back. I go back to Austin Gomber. We made Austin Gomber. Oh my God. I mean, Austin Gomber.
Like, 9-inning game, 3 hits, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk. They're not even walking anymore. The league has figured out a way to attack this team. And Jim's in the chat here telling me that Sandoval's not terrible. He's terrible. He's terrible. I didn't see anything impressive off of him. Either way,
it's our lineup. I mean, so what? He's average. He's above average. It doesn't matter. Again, if tomorrow's listing for the Angels is Tyler, I'm betting on the Angels. Right? We've turned some pretty awful pitchers into again, their season best outing, their career high in strikeouts, their career high in innings pitched in a game, that sort of thing. We're lots of guys are getting, checking off some boxes pitching against us.
Everyone's calling me out on the whole Sandoval being terrible thing. I don't care.
Well,
he did not impress me whatsoever.
What's criminal, Jim, day, is your Pittsburgh Pirates offensive lineup. That's what's criminal.
But at the end,
look at me. I'm looking at the chat like Jim could.
Hey, at the end of the day, you can't take anything away from him. If we're an Angel fan right now, we're going to be talking about how Patrick Sandoval threw a great game.
Right.
And I mean, to be fair,
this is the launching point.
I mean, to be fair, he threw well enough, but there's too much talent in this lineup to strike out 7 times, walk 1, let this guy go 7 innings and not score a run. This isn't working again.
Right.
I don't know how many times I have to say it. This entire process that we are going through as Pirates fans and as a Pirates team at the plate, it's not working. Right. Something's got to change here.
Right. Yeah. One of the tenets of our hitting approach is making them throw lots of pitches and get to the bullpen. And we're not even doing that now. Right. That was the only thing that we were doing. I'm sure, one of the tenets of our hitting approaches is hitting the ball, but we hadn't been doing that. But we were at least making the guys throw some pitches, but we stopped doing that too. We're just completely inept offensively.
Yeah. And I mean, Jim brings up a good point.
I don't see
like, maybe over the last couple of days, it's gotten a little lighter on the offense, the criticism. But for the most, Jim brings it up right there. All the runs, 1 swing yesterday.
Right. We scored in 1 inning. And, I mean, that's great. Grand slam. And yay. But it's not enough. It's not how you win consistently.
No. And I mean, just go down the lineup here. Kutch had a hit. Connor Joe had a hit. What's new? The only guy that is consistently hitting a baseball. And Oliveira's had a hit. And I mean, he's swinging an okay bat. But for the most, it's just up and down this lineup. Every day, there's just not enough guys that are collecting hits. There's no kicking the can down the road. There's no power. It's just, I I feel like I say it every single time I jump on this show.
Right, and it's
Something
one
has to
thing
change.
we were saying it
This
on
is not
April
working.
15th, right? Yeah. We're getting into man. I'm sorry I keep interrupting it. I just agree so much. I want to chime in. But yeah, but it's getting, what Yogi say, it's getting late early out here. It's like it's now a 4-week slump, out of a 6-week season, and something has to happen.
Yeah, and I feel like we want this team to, like, if we're going to give a criticism to Derek Shelton here, I feel like the common criticism is going to be more aggressive, create things, bunt, steal bases. You can't do that when you're on base 4 times in the game.
Right.
Now, granted, they were on base a few more times today because Cole Tucker can't field a baseball at third base, but
Yeah. Yeah.
they lost
Poor
9-0 to a team that employs Cole Tucker.
Cole Tucker, who, I mean, to me looks like he's on death's door. He looks skinny. He looks terrible to me. I'm worried about his health. Yet
Poor Cole Tucker.
we lost to that team, right?
Yeah, like I said, I don't want to bang down that door, but I feel like I say it every single day that I'm on here. This is not working. The process is not working. Something's got to change here. And it's not the batting lineup because we do that every day, right?
Right. It's. I mean, come on. We have scored the fewest runs. This isn't new. We've scored the fewest runs in the Charrington era, right? This has been a problem since he took over. Now, part of it you chalk up to, we were rebuilding, we were tanking, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, even in that, somewhere, you find somebody that can hit, right? We've had one really outstanding offensive season by Brian Reynolds in 21, I believe. And he's been really solid since then. But I mean, nobody has done, again, Sawinski gives us 3 good weeks a year. Cabrian Hayes gives us a couple months. Hopefully we'll get that this year. But yeah, I mean, Cruz not doing, nobody. Connor Joe. When Connor Joe is, the most consistent hitter on your team, and I love Connor Joe. This is no disrespect to Connor Joe. He is a role player. We need a star, and that's too much to ask of him. Unfair, a burden to put on him.
Yeah, and you know what? Just go back to it. I lay a lot of blame on the coaching staff here. At the end of the day, Cabrian Hayes needs to be better. He needs to hit the baseball. He needs to get back to it's in there. We've seen it. I don't want to hear the excuse that the hitting coach is different. At the end of the day, you are talented enough to do what you were able to do last year at the end of the year. Figure it out, be mentally tough enough to do it. Brian
Right.
Reynolds, you need to be able to carry this offense for a stretch. O'Neal Cruz, you have the talent to be an MVP level player. You have to show it at some point that you're able to do so. At some point, it comes back onto these players. They do need to be able to carry it themselves.
They have to take, agency, ownership of their own careers, right? I mean, if you're O'Neal Cruz, the clock is ticking on these big paydays, right? I mean, you want an extension or whatever, you want to earn the money to go somewhere else. You can't keep having an OPS of 600, right? That's not going to get you paid. Jack Sawinski, don't you want to get paid? Don't you want to be able to go to arbitration and ask for, more than $1.59? I mean, it's crazy. Right. I get it. I get that the team is not setting them up to succeed necessarily, but baseball is, you're in that batter's box by yourself. And something tells me you're not going to be too much trouble if you swing at a pitch down the middle and hit a double. Right. Right. Like, hey, we really wanted you to take that. Well, too bad. Right. I want to hit the ball. So
at some point you got here for a reason. You're good enough to do it. You have to take ownership.
And we've seen
like
flashes
you said,
of
and
it.
you have to do it yourself. Like we can sit here and lay the blame at the doorstep of every single coach and the GM and everyone else. At some point, you all literally go down the lineup. All these guys have shown they are capable of being good major leaguers for the most part.
Well,
I'd say like you could probably name 6, 7 guys that
absolutely.
they are
That's what
good
we
enough to be good major league baseball
That's
players.
why we
They're
worried
not
about the
doing it.
pitching and not the hitting, right? At the start of the year, we're like, oh, we should be able to score some runs. This is a good lineup. I mean, I've said it several times. I thought, oh, we're going to get more from Cruz than we got from shortstop last year, more from catcher because of Davis, more from second baseman from Triolo, more from Brian Hayes, more from Jack Sawinski, and we've got less. They're not even
Yeah.
the same. We've got less. And again, you can blame Andy Haynes and you can blame Charrington, you can blame Shelton, but I would tell these hitters, look over at your pitching brothers. They're all making progress, and we've been complaining about Oscar Marine for years too. It's not like he's Ray Miller over there, getting the best out of his pitchers, or Ray Searage, or any of these guys. So but they have some of them. They've gone to I always want to call it Treadstone because I love the Bourne movies. I'd like to think that Mitch Keller is also an assassin with no memory in the offseason. But yeah, I mean, these guys have stepped up, and Brady Falter has got better. Jared Jones is better than he was at AAA. I mean, he's significantly better than he was. He's not walking anybody. They had to figure this out somehow, somewhere, and these hitters need to do the same thing. They said, many of them are just too good to be this bad, right? I mean, again, we're not talking about some of the teams we've had in the past where everybody's hitting 220. We're talking about a bunch of guys with, hitting like Austin Hedges. And remember how miserable we were, how upset we were with Austin Hedges? He'd be an average player on this team now.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, and I mean,
and then just a touch on the bullpen here, real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rowanzi.
Yeah, Rowe threw 2 1/3, gave up 2 runs. What'd you see out of him?
I don't understand what happened to him. I really don't. They say he's not injured. Did he just lose his confidence? I don't know why. He was pitching very well up until the point that he wasn't like he was struggling along. We were all excited about him being a top of the rotation starter, and he just lost 4 miles an hour and lost his command and hasn't improved, hasn't developed another pitch, hasn't improved his control. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it happens a lot, I suppose, but disappointing. And I wouldn't put up much of a fuss if he got DFA'd now. That would have really, really bothered me, at just about any point. But it's like, I'd rather see Kyle Nicholas pitch. I'd rather, there's
Yeah,
somebody.
you know what? Let's just jump to Kyle Nicholas real quick because I've been actually pretty impressed by what he's done at this point. He looks like a completely different dude than he did before.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, last year he couldn't get anybody out, and this year hasn't given up a run yet. I mean, I think it's only 3 starts, 3 innings or what have you, but
I
they've
think he
all
got
been
his 4th
impressive.
inning today.
Today was the 4th, yeah. So, yeah.
But he's looked really good. I like the fastball plays really well. He looks like a guy that's actually attacking hitters this year. I think I don't want to speak too soon, and I want to see it play out, but I do like what I'm seeing out of him. I think he could be an effective bullpen piece, kind of like a Hunter Strickland kind
of
type.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the way things are going by the end of the year, are the back end of our bullpen is going to be Strickland, Kyle Nicholas, and Carmen Majinski. Right?
Yeah,
we're going to have Trey.
Yeah, I mean, I do like what some of those mid-level arms are doing in the bullpen right now. I think there's upside with them. It makes some of those higher end guys more expendable, if that makes sense.
Right.
Without them,
Right.
I don't want them to be expendable. Don't get me wrong here. Like Bednar, I don't want him going anywhere, but if something does happen with him, he goes down, whatever it might be. These guys, they're making it more bearable if something happens.
Right. Yeah. I mean, again, you got Holderman there. There is some confidence in some of these other guys, or starting to build some confidence with Nicholas. I want to see Majinski again, but Holderman looks good. Nicholas has looked good in 4 outings. Hunter, man, shoot, he's looked fantastic. Hunter Stratton has just looked, yeah, I mean, and he pitches a lot, right? His is, I mean, I guess it's still a small sample size as far as early season goes, but he's getting run out there a couple times a week and answers the bell each time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So I mean,
so
if we're gonna take a positive, I guess it's Kyle Nicholas tonight.
yeah,
Not much
that's
else
it.
positive to take.
Yeah. Well, let's see, we could
All
have
right.
wrapped this up in 1 minute in,
Yeah.
as Jim said.
Right. Well, I don't think I have much more to add tonight. Do you, Doug?
No, no. Just hope that tomorrow's not,
Yeah. Hey, I mean,
just
bounce back
score some
tomorrow,
runs.
and
Score some runs. It would be
that's
very
great.
fitting to lost to, a guy that was a Rule 5 pick that we just rostered all year long. So,
Oh, hey, in Clint Hurdle's words, shower well. Get back to it tomorrow.
exactly.
All right,
Thanks to
folks.
the chat. So you guys are great, man. It's like,
Yeah. You guys keep us going.
yeah, I mean, one of the guys early on said the only reason here is to support NS9, and you're right. It's you guys should have went to bed. I appreciate you. It's great to see you.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Yeah. So,
All
sorry
right,
about
Doug.
the sandwiches tomorrow.
Yeah, no Sammys tonight. Tomorrow, let's hope. All right, Doug.
Let's go
Pirates lose
Bucks.
this one 9-0, but we're still here for you people.
We'll be back tomorrow.
Exactly. All right.
It won't
Peace
be
out,
me.
Girl
You've had
Scout.
three shows in a row of me. So yeah, see you guys.
Yeah. Love that. 3 shows in a row, Doug. Gotta love it.
Yeah. I know you guys have been punished.
We'll see you guys.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.